So this is another molarity question, and the question is asking you, this is question 10 that I've given you from the list of questions. And so you need 225 milliliters of a 0.6 molar sodium hydroxide solution, and you have a 2.5 molar stock solution available to you. How would you make up the solution? So again, this is a M1 V1 is equal to M2 V2. And so what we're going to, we first need to determine, well, what is M, what is M1, what is V1, what is M2, what is V2, what is the variable that we're trying to solve for, okay? So when you see something saying stock solution, that will always be your M1. Okay, so whether you're trying to find a stock solution or that you're given a stock solution, when you see stock solution, that is always M1. So for us, the molarity one, our initial molarity, is given to us as 2.5. Okay. It's telling us that, again, we have another different molarity, M2. It says you need 225 milliliters of a 0.6 molar. So M2 to us is going to be 0.6. And because that 225 milliliters is attached to that 0.6, you need 225 mils of a 0.6 molar sodium hydroxide solution. So that automatically becomes our volume, our second volume, because that's what we need. And again, your M2 is always going to be attached or associated with your V2, similar to the M1 will always be associated with V1. So we need to determine, well, how much of our 2.5 molar solution do we need to actually get that 225? So this is a very similar representation of what we did in Lab 5, just with different numbers. So I'm going to plug those in. So we have a 2.5 molar solution. We don't know what V1 is. We are told we need to make a 0.6 molar solution, and we need 225 milliliters of that. So I'm going to first figure out what my right side is. So I have 0.6, and I multiply that by 225, and that gives me 135. And I have 2.5, and it's still multiplied by that V1, that volume 1, because we don't know how much. So to isolate for V1, we will move that 2.5 across the equal sign, and because again the brackets beside brackets equal or assume that you understand that it's a multiplication, when we move that 2.5 across the equal sign, it will become a division. So we have V1 is equal to 135 divided by 2.5. Divided by 2.5. So that is actually 54 milliliters. Okay, so a question like this, it's like, how would you make up the solution? So there's actually two parts to this question that's not really highlighted. First off, we need to know how much of volume 1 we need, and we've just calculated we need 54 milliliters. But if you were actually explaining how you would make up the solution, what you would say to somebody is, one, you would pipette approximately 54 milliliters of your 2.5 molar solution, and you would place that into a beaker, okay, a new beaker just like we did in lab. And then because we need 225 milliliters, okay, your second step would be, once that 54 mils is into a beaker, you would bring up the solution, that sodium hydroxide solution, up to 225. So really, if we wanted to be specific here, we would take the 54 milliliters, I'm just going to put this up here, our 54 milliliters of our molarity 1, which is that 2.5 stock, and we would add 171 milliliters of distilled water, DiH2O, because 171 plus 54 gives us that final solution of 225. So it is important to recognize that you wouldn't be adding 225 milliliters of water, because now you've changed your volume 2, and that would dilute your stock. It wouldn't be 0.6 anymore. So I hope this helps. If you need any more assistance, please let me know.